touring to support his 6-song EP, Already Dancing. Of course, involvement with the musical Telltale Harbor, that was a big smash hit in Toronto, and a book out, The Smiling Land, All Around the Circle in My Newfoundland and Labrador. Alan Doyle, what are you at?
What are you at? Thanks very much for having me on. It sounds like a lot when you put it all together like that.
I get. Do you feel busy?
I do, yeah. But I have real big chunks of downtime too. Like the book came out just before Christmas, and I finished the book tour I think around the 17th or 19th or something of November, and I was home until the middle of January. I had almost 2 months home, and just sort of laying low, and then the record came out, and off we are. We're rolling across the country, us and the East Pointers, giving people a real East Coast kitchen party, and it's some fun. It's awesome.
Coming to Montreal on Friday at the Olympia, you're doing more than 40 shows, and quite a few of them in the States where they're selling out, I noticed. Is that a surprise to you, Alan?
Oh, it's always a surprise to me when it sells out anywhere in the world. I'm delighted that people will come at all, no, we've got a couple of big weeks here in Canada. Like we're playing in Kitchener. We had a big sold out show last night in Ottawa at the big National Arts Centre, and we're at the Centre and Square, and then we do a couple of big ones at Massey after Montreal. But you know what? I'm just really grateful. It's 30 odd years for me now touring around North America and northern parts of Europe and Australia and a few other places, and I'm just really glad to still be playing music for a living and to have this many people interested in coming to have a night with me.
Anything different about the audience you tend to draw in Montreal?
Oh, well, Montreal's always been a Friday night place, hasn't it? I mean, like you go, like I long before I even started going with Great Big Sea. My brother lived in Montreal, and he knew about the nightlife. And of course, when I was a kid, I fell in love with the Montreal Canadiens. Mostly because in the early 1980s, when I started watching hockey, they still had the old Forum where there was no glass behind the bench, and all the ladies wore fur coats, and everybody smoked, and it looked so cool compared to every other city I'd ever heard of in my life. And yeah, so I fell in love with Montreal like a decade or more before I ever got to go there.
Any trepidation about playing so many dates in the U.S. given the political situation and the elbows up? And just yesterday, Donald Trump once again referring to our prime minister as future Governor Carney.
Yeah, I don't really have much trepidation about it. I mean, we've been playing in Canada and the U.S. and in Germany and England and Denmark and these countries for, since the 1990s with, and all of those countries have gone through different, administrations and different, prime ministers or chancellors or whatever. And some of them are quite popular, in Canada, and some of them are not, and our relationship with those fans, far exceeds our country's relationship with any administration. So, that's more important to me. So, yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to going there.
Any of your music get political? Do you ever get political in the music you perform?
It's not where my mind goes when I'm writing songs. I mean, if I was to say that, my or Great Big Sea's music was political, the parts of it that are political are traditional songs that were written in 1780. So they're dumping on the king or something. Someone who no longer, it's like celebrating Guy Fawkes Night or something like that. You know what I mean? Or the Irish Rebellion or something. And if they're political from about 300 years ago.
I've heard rumblings that, and I really hope this is true. Maybe it's just gossip, but I really hope this is true. Has there been any talk about taking Telltale Harbor on the road?
Oh, yeah, a lot of it. And I can't report that it's a done deal yet. We had amazing success in Toronto at the big Royal Alex Theatre in the fall. I can tell you there's significant interest in a return to Toronto. There's significant interest in a return and bringing the musical to a couple other places. And I would dearly, oh my, how much would I love? I'd love to have it in Montreal for a couple of weeks or a month or whatever. It'd be so fun. It's a great night out. And, much like, it's almost like everything I do, I'm just trying to do the same thing in a different way. I'm just trying to give people a great night out, and like on this tour, we have the East Pointers with us, and they're so amazing. They're from Prince Edward Island, and they integrate in and out of our band 2 or 3 times in the night. It makes for the greatest kitchen party. Like, people are going to love it.
The kitchen party, is that what Already Dancing is basically? Is everyone's on their feet, everyone's kind of cutting loose? Is that what you're going for with your Already Dancing tour?
Oh, 100%. Always, and I just try to craft the songs from the new record or from the latest project to mix in with the songs from the Great Big Sea catalog or the Newfoundland traditional music that I always do, just to give people a great night out, a well-rounded night out where they're engaged on, a few fronts, where they're dancing and having a great time, or they hear something that's moving to them in a ballad or whatever. And then, quite frankly, if I can be totally honest about a Friday night in Montreal, I'm usually just trying to keep up with the party that started long before we start playing. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's like, just got to keep up. I'm just up there trying to hang on for dear life.
Well, you have to have a glass of wine with your dinner before you go to the show. So, I could.
It's never a worry in Montreal. It's like anybody who's new in the band or new in the crew, that's what I always say to them about a Friday or a Saturday night in Montreal. It's like, guys, we just got to keep up. It's already long before we go out there. It's already awesome.
We caught your show when you were in Montreal a number of years back, my husband and I, and we were standing at the back of the venue. And at one point, you put the house lights up during one of your big hits because everyone sings along, right? And the house lights came up, and it was incredible. People were jumping up and down. It was so much energy in the venue. Just astounding.
Yeah. And it's, again, like, Montreal is one of my favorite places in the world to play. And it's not just me. Like, all the bands, like, they'll tell you if they can get a Friday night anywhere, they'd pick Montreal because, it's such a music town, right? It's like people like go out and they commit to going out. And I always love my nights there.
Now, I know you already have a lot on your plate with the tour and all that, but you are a published author. You've had a number of books out. The most recent, The Smiling Land, All Around the Circle in My Newfoundland and Labrador. Any thoughts? I know that just came out a matter of months ago, but any thoughts about where you might like to take that side of your career?
Oh, I don't really. They're always a surprise to me, like when they come up, books. I'm talking about I'm surprised I have a book career at all. The publishing company often asks me every couple of years if I have something to write about, and I decide that I'm going to write about my young life in Petty Harbour or my first trip across Canada, or in this case, taking an extensive trip around Newfoundland and Labrador and just seeing if the publisher thinks that any readers would be interested in coming along with me, and it turns out they are. And I have an affinity for sort of what you would call them travel books. Like, I have a favorite author named Bill Bryson, who's like a famous sort of travel writer, and he doesn't just it's not like a travel brochure. It's like you come along with him and he just observes what he observes, like you're standing in the pub with him or something. And I love that kind of writing, and I love those kind of books. And I could imagine myself writing another one of those. Or I'm also since we had such great fun doing the Telltale Harbor musical, I wouldn't mind trying to dabble in writing something that was performative, like a play or a one-man musical, or I don't know. It'd be fun to muse with it.
Well, lots for fans of Alan Doyle to look forward to. Alan, thank you very much for your time.
Can't wait for Friday night. Thanks so much.
I'm Luke Wilson. Join me each week for Film Never Lies. Since retiring from the NFL, I've had a lot on my mind, and now I've got my own show. So if you're tired of lazy takes, if you want honest conversations, join us each week. Film Never Lies, available on all TSN platforms and the iHeartRadio app.